If it is or if it ain't, it's going to come out. Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration and cheats. It is November the 15th, 2023, and today the topic is all or nothing. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Yes, happy Wednesday. I hope that you all had a terrific Tuesday. Mine was just fine. I told y'all my Tuesday was going to be pretty chill, and it was. At some point, I felt like the day was Wednesday, and so I was mentally preparing, and then come to find out yesterday was Tuesday, and today is Wednesday, so I was like, oh, man. But I'm also looking forward to today because, it's a Mad Miraculous Day over at Mountain West for the child care situation tonight. Mad Miraculous is going to take over the elementary room and have the Miracle Lab. And so I'm excited about tonight's experiment as well as just time with the kiddos with Mad Miraculous. So that's something I'm looking forward to for this Wednesday. Outside of that, my day is supposed to be pretty chill as well. Might have a virtual meeting. But outside of that, I'm going to just be mentally preparing for tonight and at some point getting out there and getting the materials I need for tonight. But that's my Wednesday in a nutshell. But we'll see what the Lord do, and I'll let y'all know tomorrow if the Lord's will. But as for yesterday, not too much that your girl did. Of course, outside of listening from home, being a mom, stuff like that. Let's get into this chit chat about all or nothing. So I woke up this morning actually early, but didn't get things going until after the time, probably like after 4:30 or something like that. Start listening to the prayer meditation, which was good. It was nice to reflect on. And then basically at some point I just kind of was scrolling on social media trying to see if the Lord gonna have anything stand out to me or whatever. And I was thinking like, okay, Lord, what are we talking about today? And then all of a sudden this phrase all or nothing came into my heart and mind, and I said okay, and I looked it up and I came across this definition, and it says having no middle position or compromise available. So it's saying again, having no middle position or compromise available. And so ultimately I was thinking, let me go deeper about this. Obviously I went to openbible.info, plugged in all or nothing, went to gotquestions.org and plugged in all or nothing. At gotquestions.org I really didn't find anything, so I was trying to seek the Lord about what was the bigger picture of this concept again of all or nothing. And ultimately it led me to the conversation about being lukewarm. There is an article that I read at gotquestions.org that I didn't write it down, but you guys can go look at it if you feel led to do so. But it was something along the lines of like, why did Jesus go so hard about being lukewarm? And it was a good article to read, honestly. So hopefully you guys can go and let it marinate on your heart, souls, and minds and everything like that. But once I read that article, I went back to openbible.info and looked at the verses that I came across. And lo and behold, everything started to resonate and make sense. So let's get into it, y'all. All or nothing. If I was going to chit chat about this for a second before I get into the verses, basically, I think we all have come to a point where we, we think or we want to believe that there is a loophole, right? We want to believe there is a gray area. It's not all black and white, as they say. But according to the Bible, it's not. It is very black and white. It is no gray area. And the only loophole really is Jesus, according to the Bible. Anything outside of that is, it's either black or white. And so, I don't know. How does that make you feel to hear that, Now, hey, it brings me joy, again, because I know, again, the loophole is Christ, and I'm trying my best to, make sure I'm on that side, And even as I was reading the article this morning about being lukewarm, I felt like, maybe your girl might not be on that lukewarm path. And I said, well, to God be the glory, because, again, we have to all work out our own salvation with fear and trembling, look, die to self daily, and everything like that. So, again, I don't intend to ever, puff myself up and be like, oh, because I've arrived. I mean, again, we have all sinned and fallen short, so none of us have arrived, and everything like that. None of us will ever be perfect and things like that. But let's get into this whole conversation about being lukewarm and this idea of all or nothing. I don't know. Maybe you're not receiving, that there's no loophole or no gray area. Maybe you, deep in your heart, you want to believe that there is. But again, let's just look at Bible, and then put our thoughts with that. Honestly, something that's just crossed my mind, so I guess I'll share it. I came across this post, I think it was this morning, as I was sharing different things on social media. Again, if you guys follow us on the God, Sex, and Love Facebook, I try my best to, whenever I see something encouraging, inspiring, and motivating, and things of that nature, I try to share it on those pages. And depending on what it is, it depends on which page I share. So most likely biblical content and things of that nature I share on the God, Sex, and Love Facebook. Just, general motivation and things like that I'll share on my Actress Miracle Sims Facebook. So, just a heads up about, different things like that. If you guys want to follow me at any of those places and get some, inspiration throughout the day outside of just, what your girl does here on the Juice. But anyway, basically I saw this post that said something along the lines of, it was like, if the Bible calls it a sin, or if God calls it a sin, your opinion doesn't matter. And hey, again, that might be Pope today. You might not like to hear that, or whatever the case may be. But again, if we're going to be Bible believing Christians, then this is the mindset that we need to understand and take on. So let's go ahead and get into this, y'all. All or nothing. So obviously the first verse that stood out to me to share this morning is Revelations 3:15 and 16. It says, I know your works. You are neither cold nor hot. Would that you were either cold or hot. So because you are lukewarm and neither hot nor cold, I will spit you out of my mouth. That article that I mentioned, like I said, I did not write down. That was at GotQuestions.org. It went deeper about this verse. It went deeper about the whole section, really. And it talked about, like, again, why did Christ go so hard on the Laodiceans, I believe. Y'all can go and confirm that that's the right, group or whatever the case is. I think it was the Laodiceans, and I might not be saying it right. But anyway, basically, in the article, it mentioned something along the lines of that those people would fully understand what Christ meant by using this concept of being lukewarm, because they was receiving a spring in their town that was, lukewarm. So it wasn't warm enough to bathe in, and it wasn't cool enough to drink. So it just was lukewarm. Now, I don't know about y'all. Like, there's some people that like room temp water and stuff like that. I'm not one of them people. I like, give me some cold ice water if you're gonna give me some water. Don't just give me a little bottle of water. Like, if I have to drink it, and if that's all we got, then I'll drink it. But I would prefer some cold ice water. So I don't know if that is anything similar to what the Laodiceans was feeling like, getting that spring and feeling like, man, there's no purpose to this spring. Like there's nothing, no good that can come from it. I can't bathe in it. It ain't hot enough, and I can't drink it. It ain't cold enough. And again, the article goes deeper about this concept and everything like that. You guys can go and look at it in its entirety on your own. But I think the thing that stood out to me as I was reading it outside of that description was the point where it was bringing about, like, basically as believers, we should be, walking in purpose and if you're on fire for the Lord and things like that, you can bear fruit. And if you're the type of believer that isn't bearing fruit, then you are what they call lukewarm. If you're just going through the motions, doing things from repetition, doing things like a ritual, I guess it kind of goes back to the conversation from yesterday, right? The freedom in Christ and things of that nature. Like we're just using our freedom and just doing just things over and over and over again. Rather than, again, being on fire for the Lord and being of some use. And again, growing, right? And bearing fruit and things of that nature. So speaking of that, let me go ahead and give you guys the next verse that stood out to me to share this morning. And it's Matthew 12:30. It says, whoever is not with me is against me, and whoever does not gather with me scatters. There's few things that stood out to me in this verse this morning. Again, we're talking about all or nothing, and so that reiterates this concept of all or nothing. It literally says, whoever is not with me is against me. So there you go. That is clearly an example of all or nothing. If you're not with me, you're against me. And then it goes on to say, if you don't gather with me, you're scattering. So again, if you're not out here, building the kingdom, gathering more believers, things of that nature with the Lord, then you are ultimately being a stumbling block. You are scattering the kingdom and things like that. I mean, we could give plenty of examples of what this could look like. But I guess I just challenge you today to think about, what does this look like to you? Like I said, I'm doing my best, right, to get up every morning and share in hopes that, whoever listens to the sound of my voice will be encouraged and inspired to get closer to the Lord and then do their part, Now, let's just say I never decided to go ahead and do this on April 1st, 2020. Not only where would I be today? Because, again, a lot of things got established once I finally, listened to the Lord, started to study and share. Honestly, all of my dreams, if not majority, I'll put it like that, 90% or 85, I don't know. But majority of my dreams came to fruition once I finally started to walk this path that God has created for me. If I had not taken that, first step of faith, I have no clue where I would be. I really don't know. Like, my books probably wouldn't have been published. My movie probably wouldn't be out. I wouldn't have met all these amazing people that I've talked to around the world. So ultimately I would have been scattering, people rather than gathering people. We gather over here at GSL, right? So it's just one of those things to think about. Again, you can, peruse these verses, let them marinate, think about what this looks like in your life. Are you a gatherer or are you a scatterer? And I guess ultimately that'll, again, tell you what side you're on and things like that. And again, there is a way. The loophole is Christ. So don't be discouraged if you, do your heart check and feel like, oh, I might be a scatterer today. Again, you can become a gatherer by turning to Christ and walking in his way. Got another verse for y'all. It's Deuteronomy 6:5. It says, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your might. It says with everything, y'all. Again, all or nothing. Again, I feel, and it's just not a personal opinion, I feel like, a lot of people see this, that, a lot of us again, we're going through the motions. We are giving off the air that we're believers or whatever case may be. But then, there's no fruit. And again, these are the ones that Christ is talking about. That, hey, because you're neither hot nor cold, you're no benefit. There's nothing that can be done with you, for you, and through you. And so, again, you guys can go forth and figure out if this is you or not. I hope not, I hope everybody that's listening to the sound of my voice can sit here and say, you know what, I'm getting confirmation right now that I am in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. Like, I surely hope that that's everybody's, response to this conversation. But if not, again, if you're feeling this little prick in your heart that, man, you know what, she talking about me, then, and again, it ain't me now, it ain't me, it's the Lord through me talking about you, then I mean, hey, by all means, just understand, again, there's plenty to go deeper with this. We can repent of that right now. And honestly, as you guys go deeper, if you go deeper about what was said in Revelation and whatnot, you're going to see that that's what Christ is pleading for that nation, the Laodiceans, to do as well, to, repent, go back to their first love, things of that nature. Let me give you guys another verse. It's Romans 12:11. It says, do not be slothful in zeal. Be fervent in spirit. Serve the Lord. So this is what we need to be doing, y'all. Let's not be, slothful. Let's not be, again, wasting time and things of that nature. There's plenty that we all can do. And then again, there's plenty that we can do, like, not to say that it won't take much time, but I mean, even just taking time to share a post, right? That's something you can do. It don't even take that much time. It's just a few seconds. You see something motivational, share it. Why? Because the person that follows you, your circle of influence, will be affected and it will benefit them. I've had several times I'll just be sharing something for me. Like, honestly, like I said, I'll share it on the GSL page if it's a biblical reference, or I'll share it on, the Actions Miracle Sins page if it's something motivational. And a lot of times, every now and then, somebody will come through and comment and say, I needed this. I needed to hear this. Thank you. And again, I'm not sitting here trying to act like, because half the time it's what they call memes or something that's already pre-made. I saw it somewhere or whatever the case may be. Like, very rarely is it something that I created, like, sometimes I might create some type of little quote or something, but for the most part, a lot of times I'm just sharing something I've seen that was encouraging to me in the moment, or I just look at it and then it just resonates with me so much where I'm like, okay, I believe the Lord wants me to share this. But I never know who it's for. I never know, like, if it's going to touch that person, when it's going to touch that person, and things of that nature. I just do my part and share, right? And same thing with the juice. I get up every morning with the intention to receive something from the Lord, and He gives me whatever He gives me, and I just share it without knowing, like, again, who's listening to the sound of my voice, or any of those things, right? But again, I'm just trying my best to do my part. What can you do to change your slothful ways? I'm not trying to sit here and act like I'm perfect. I am not perfect by any means. You can ask my husband. I'm probably not the perfect wife. You can ask my son. I'm probably not the perfect mother. You ask my family. I'm probably not the perfect daughter or sister or any of those things. But regardless, right, you can be of service to the Lord. You can use your gifts and talents to serve the Lord and do it fervently with zeal. And I guess that's ultimately the juice this morning. That is the juice. Now listen, the Bible verse of today is Psalm 147:3. It says, He healeth the broken in heart and bindeth up their wounds. Friends, I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired by this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening. And yeah, I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. I do have several verses in the Go Deeper section that you guys can peruse and let marinate on your hearts, souls, and minds. I feel like the verses there are for anybody that feels like, you know what, this is me. This is me today. I need to get more zeal. I need to, do more for the Lord and for the kingdom. Like, if that's you, then I believe that the verses in the Go Deeper section will encourage and inspire you. And I hope that you guys take the time to read them, Again, peruse them, let them marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. And don't forget about that article at gotquestions.org. It's centered all around being lukewarm. So just look up the word lukewarm and see what comes up. But if you want to go specifically to it, I believe, again, that it was called, Why Did Jesus Go So Hard on Being Lukewarm, or something like that. But anyway, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday, and I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.
Everyone is stuck at home, but life is still happening around us every day. Birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, and celebrations. Send your friends and family the gift of wine from the comforts of home. Wine shop at home with Miracle of Wine. Wine, gift baskets, wine accessories, and more at miracleofwine.com.